Okay. Quite excited for the podcast. I don't think I've been this excited in podcast in a while, actually.
Mate, I'm just looking forward to everyone's reactions.
Yeah, no, me too.
I'll tell you what, earlier I was asking a few of the lads, and I didn't give nothing away. I was like, hello and welcome to the end of season 2 podcast in the UELA, SNRC, TNRC and WNRC racing leagues. I have all my fellow admins with me. Exo, hello.
How's it, bud? How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Grimmy, how's it
That's
going?
good, man.
Hello, mate. You alright?
Very well, thank you. And Ravs, how are you?
I'm actually pretty decent, actually, mate. Thank you very much for asking.
We made it. We got through another season. We were up to the deal.
Thank God for that.
No, it's been an incredibly challenging season for everybody, both racing and so on and off the track. But yeah, I'm really proud of everything that we've done as an admin team, and the way the season has played itself out. So thank you everybody who is going to be joining in from the beginning or throughout. A lot of you would have seen in the announcement page the agenda that we have put in there, and we are going to stick to that so you know exactly what's coming and what's going to happen. We've got some really exciting things in this podcast. I don't want to say anything more than that, but it's a podcast I believe you're going to watch back 2 or 3 times. So we'll crack on with the first point, and I'll pass over to you, Exo. So just an overview of the season from your perspective. How are you feeling about season 2 and moving into season 3?
Oh man, it was a tough season. It's another one, just showing that 15 races is really what we need to have. You know, it shows that you need to have consistent performances to actually win it. It's not as you need to be consistent throughout the entire season. Otherwise, you're gonna struggle. Like I myself know. I've DNF'd a few times, which has cost me two championships this season. So yeah, it just shows what we need to do and what drivers need to do and the quality that we have here.
And Ravs, how about yourself? How are you feeling about season 2? You've had a lot of changes to your assist this year. How are you feeling about that?
I'm glad I've changed back before season 3 starts because I've got some high expectations for myself. But I think I'll take a lot from it. Definitely was worth doing, even if it was very frustrating doing it. Obviously, always finishing near the back and DNFing, that was really frustrating.
I do think that experience is going to help you now for the coming season, because you must have learned something about throttle control throughout the season. You know, even though you've spun a few times and you've ended behind, but you must have learned something through it, and that's going to definitely bode you well for the coming season.
Yeah, for sure, exactly, I agree.
Yeah. For me, obviously from the steward's point of view, and Bird has actually asked us quite interesting questions regarding statistics and stuff. We've had a total of 154 incidents submitted through this season, through all 3 divisions. Of those 154, only 75 instances carried penalties, So it shows that 48.7% of the time the stewards find someone guilty. And I mean, when I say someone, it can even be the guy that's submitting the incident that could have been at fault for it. So yeah, it's showing quality, it's showing class in the league. Having less than 4 incidences per division per race is absolutely awesome. And then if we go further and we look at TNRC, that ratio was even lower than 1.5 incidences per race. And if you remove Monaco, where there were 6 incidences submitted, the incident ratio drops below 1 per race. And again, just shows absolute quality. And exactly what we wanted from TNRC is that guys that have awesome racecraft, that are not part of collisions often. So yeah, now I'm from Stewart's point of view, I think we had a very good season as well.
Thanks, Exo. And over to you, Grim. How you feel about your season? Again, another one who changed assists at the start of the season.
No, I think I've done alright, to be honest. Like, France, my first race, that was a medium. Come second in there, and then I don't know why, but Vietnam was when I changed it, the second race in. And from my point of view now, I'm actually glad I've done it. Because there's a certain point where you cannot go back to medium traction control. For me, that was a struggle. But no, I'm enjoying it now, though, to be honest.
Bird actually says that a lot to me. When he says when he strides back to go back to medium, he can feel the car cutting out and he's accelerating. So yeah, he says it's impossible to go back.
Plus, like, because your muscle memory is like tiptoeing on the accelerator. When you go back on medium traction, you're still tiptoeing, so you're not getting like as much power from the medium traction as you would.
Yeah, I hear you. And Smithy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's been a great season. Obviously, we started with 2 divisions with 1 week before the start of the season, and all of a sudden we had Grimmy become this recruitment consultant legend. So we went straight from 2 to 3 divisions in like 1 or 2 nights. So it was an incredible growth of SNRC in such a short amount of time, and we've been very, very lucky. I believe over 2025 of the 30 people who originally joined on that week period are still in the server and doing really well in the server. So
and they're quite active as well.
That's the main thing for me. They've all been active, they've all been within the group discussions, and a lot of them have now got roles within SNRC because of how well they've done. So on that side, really pleased. On the racing side, it's been a very, very good competitive battle in Division 1. Not up and down the grid because of how small it's been, so that's been a frustration, but overall great season up and down the divisions. And yeah, looking forward to season 3 when we get 20 cars on the grid each week.
Sounds good to me.
Okay,
are we going to move on to number 2?
We are, yeah. So what we wanted to do is talk about each division briefly and talk about the top 3 in those divisions, and also bring up the league table. So I know some people in Division 3 or 2 might not see the Division 1 standings, and vice versa. So Grimmy, would you like to talk about the Division 1? Or
sorry, I was sort of concentrating just a minute ago, sorry.
No, I'll do it. So in Division 1 we had the top 3, which was from 3rd Grimmy. Again, considering you changed your assist, mate, that's a great performance with the drivers right around you.
Bird was coming up on my arse, though.
Well, Bird dropped down the last couple of weeks because MG and Rickass overtook him right at the end. But yeah, there was then a sizable gap, if you don't mind me saying, Grimmy, to Rally.
No, 100%.
in second, and been a fierce competitor all season. Me and him have been. One with me and Rally, actually. Although we were first and second in the standings, we very rarely were next to each other on the track, which doesn't quite make sense. We never really got into too many battles over the season, and then I was lucky enough and got a bit of luck all the way through the season to get first place. So yeah, for myself, very happy. I just, from around Bahrain and after China, I had a bit of a wobble saying, bloody hate that track. And then I literally got a podium every single race thereafter. Granted, there were less people in Division 1, which is why I'm so looking forward to moving into next season when we've got a grid of 20 super fast drivers. So one mistake and you're not going to finish 5th or 4th. You're going to be finishing 14th or 15th, if not lower. So that's my thoughts on that. And just a little bit else to just comment through is Jeremy kindly put together some stats in Division 1, which average quality positions and also average race positions, so you could see if you are a driver who makes up positions in a race or loses positions, and something for you guys to work on moving into season 3. So I'll go through the top 3 movers in Division 1, and we had Dizzle on average moved up nearly 4 positions, 3.8. Third was 3.7, and Lord Ripcast was 3.6. Next one after that was in the 2s. So those 3 lads, race pace was incredible. Got their head down, went through potentially alternative strategies and made it work. So kudos to those 3 as well.
Nah, it's fair play that.
So Exo, can I go over to yourself and you can talk about Division 2, please?
Yeah, no. I mean, obviously, if you're looking at the Div 2 guys, our top 3 that we had was Kieran that won it. Second, we had Panda, which is our young prodigy. And third, we had Reed, was our American friend. So yeah, I mean, those guys, since they came in from Division 3 up to Division 2, their pace and their consistency was just immense. The guys, they just came up and performed. You know, until then, I had a really smooth sailing in Division 2 to win it, and I eventually I DNF 3 times. One, I just parked the car. 2 others I lost. I crashed out. And I mean, if it wasn't for these guys, I would never have been under any pressure to win that division. And the pressure that they put on me is basically caused me to DNF twice. So, and these guys are just absolutely brilliant. We have the same data for Division 2 of the average quality positions and guys moving up and down, and it's really interesting to see who is the guys that gains the most positions. In Division 2 we have G-Man. He has on average gained 3.1 positions on every race. Gadget Grandpa was second with 2.2, and then Mr. Sternface on average gains 1.3 positions. And again, it's about guys that are consistently making sure they finish races, and just having good pace on track. I do think Division 2 for next season is going to be just as competitive, even though these guys are going up. But yeah, it was definitely the division to be in the season. I mean, we've basically packed the grid every race, and yeah, the quality of racing that was there was just immense.
No, I agree. I think I was more excited about the Division 2 results coming in than the actual racing in Division 1, just because of I think there was 8 or 9 drivers who could have made it into the top 5. So yeah. It was every single race. It was a different winner. I think throughout the season in Division 2, you had more different winners than any other division.
Yeah.
Which was great to see, and hopefully that's something that those lads who are coming up to Division 1 can bring them as well.
Definitely.
So yeah, looking forward to that. So just going to move on to Division 3 and go through the Division 3 top 3. So starting from third, we've got SNRC Jack, a driver who joined in that window I mentioned earlier, in the few days before the start of Season 2. A racer who's been getting faster and faster, and his performances have been seen in these average positions in the last few races. So welcome to Jack. Also, thank you, Jack, for the work you did as the lobby manager. Thank you. Second was Shaggy Doo. For me, Shaggy Doo's come from nowhere. I remember
Yes.
going back a few different weeks, and he was around 9th or 10th in the league, and then every race he was getting another position up, and he just kept finishing in high positions. And his last few races were, you know, third, second in of the last 3 out of 4 races.
That's awesome.
Very strong performances from Shaggy, who I know is moving to medium traction for season 3. And if he's this fast without it, he's going to find more speed. So watch out for whatever division he's in. And then United Aura, he's been in a class of his own really, since the other guys moved up. He could have had more race wins if he didn't get involved in some incidents. So I'm sure he'll be kicking himself there, but I think he lost 2 race wins due to that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on, because I know when the other drivers who moved up to Division 2 were there, I don't think he was winning any races at that moment. Was he, Exo?
Sorry, I missed that. Sorry, I was just inviting Reed. He was asking about it. What was your question?
Yeah, just about United Aura, obviously dominating the second half of the season.
Oh man, that guy's fast.
He had some good races with the guys who moved up to Division 2, and maybe he wouldn't have had it as easy as he did.
I think so too. Yes. Look, obviously, I mean, if you take out Jeremy, you take out Panda, you take out Kieran, you take out Reed, you take out Parker, then it will definitely make his life. It will definitely have made his life much easier for Division 3. So yeah, no, but you don't want to take it away from him at all. The one you still had to perform to get it.
Okay. So just about to move on to the Murray Walker Cup. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it was such a great success. The amount of buy-in we had from the whole community, we all come together to twitch each other's races, and the banter that was going around, and the practice that was going in. It was really, really good, wasn't it? What do you think, Rabs, about the Murray Walker Cup?
Sorry, I was just reading Discord in regards to Jim's request to turn the game volume
We have a
down.
request to put the game volume down, guys. Okay, we're struggling with some technical issues with the volume. We'll try and sort that out throughout.
Yeah, so on to the Murray Walker.
I'm just gonna mute myself here, guys. Sorry, I just want to try and sort that out for us. Just hold on. You guys
Murray
can.
Walker Cup, please.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, it was. I mean, obviously with me being still on no assists, I was like, no matter who I come in, unless I get someone that actually wasn't racing or was completely new, I was actually going out first round anyway. However, I felt I did myself a little bit of justice against Reed, but it was nice to see some of the people that you may, on paper, you would have gone, oh, that guy's definitely going to win. But then it turns out that obviously on a final 5-lapper, that wasn't the case. I think the biggest upset was when Parker lost to, was it Camboy? 3-0?
Campbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I think
I didn't
everyone
pick that
was, Yeah, I mean, 3-0 is an annihilation, isn't it? It's not a 2-1. It's a 3-0. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, I got
Me too. Don't worry.
But yeah, it was quite nice in regards to. I mean, I actually thought it was up to Smithy or Rally to win. If obviously Kizzy. What was the issue with Kizzy again?
He went to hospital the night. I think he had an issue. I think he hurt his ankle. He was in hospital, so he had to miss it.
So Rally got lucky there.
Well, no.
I'm joking.
I think it would have been a tough race either way.
I'm messing around. So yeah, it was quality. It was it fitted in nicely, built up a lot of attention for everybody, got everyone excited, and something we should definitely be looking to do again.
Definitely.
No, I agree. And really, regardless of what happened with Kizzy, I was still quite ready, or had a bet ready with Exo, and we can share it now because it didn't happen. Because of Rally's starts, I was very confident that even though Kizzy is a faster race driver, those 5 lap because definitely brings the two drivers close together, and the starts Brady gets. I was confident in turn one before Kizzy, so we betted. Actually, go on, Exo. Do you want to talk about the bet?
So basically, what we were saying is, depending on who wins those 3 races, they'll have to DNF their first qualifying session in TNRC in the first race of the of next season. So it was quite a bummer that it didn't happen, because I knew Kizzy was going to smoke it. So.
No. Brady, I'm on your side, mate. And this is the worst thing about TNRC as well. It's gone to an hour. So we're about to sit there for over an hour just watching you guys just drive around. So, yeah, I'm pleased that didn't. But overall, I think it was a great success. And we just want to say congratulations to Rally.
To Rally.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Fucking.
Right.
Perfect. So, again, a nice little video there for Rally. Well deserved. Great performance. We've got to mention to Panda for a great effort in the final. He won on track 2 of the 3 races. But yeah, massive congratulations to Rally. Now, moving on to the next point. Due to the... Sorry, guys. Just having a bit of a technical difficulty here. Just give me 2 moments.
Just give us a moment, guys.
Fixed it.
Okay, perfect. So, because of the success of the Murray Walker Cup and the great work that Wolverine did with all the graphics, the ideas, it was his idea for the name, would like to introduce you to Wolverine, who's going to be our new exhibitions manager, and we've got a little teaser for you right now.
They will connect us.
Right then, guys, well, I hope that whetted your appetite a little bit, because it definitely has mine. We've invited Pete, who created that video, to talk about what his vision is for the exhibition role and the following season in UELA. Over to you, Pete.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good and you, man.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
good,
not bad,
thank you. It's nice to be here. Good to be back.
That's it. Okay.
Sorry, did you say good to be back there, Pete?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry
good.
about that.
Sorry, yeah.
Good to be back, and then we're gone. It's yeah. So obviously, you guys alluded to, and that sort of coming back into as an exhibition manager, and as I'd like to thank everybody that took part in the Murray Walker Cup. They made it an absolutely fantastic week, and I know certainly I was at the week afterwards. I was looking at my phone just as it was just dead, and it's like, come on, and I'm missing the racing, and it was so good to have something to look forward to with daily. It was really fun. But there were so many great sort of like bits of banter, so many eager anticipated matches. Obviously, like Dave and Stern, the banter was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. I mean, Stern's wit, if he was as quick on the track as he was with his wit, he's golden. But he was really good. It's really enjoyed that. And but yeah, so what we're looking to do going forward is once a month have a bit of like a pay-per-view event where we're kind of going to get it's like F1 meets MMA meets WWE meets primetime boxing, and in much the same way that we got this podcast in a nice slick fashion, it's going to be a proper like professional style broadcast with cutscenes with music and some fan interaction as well, with the fact that if you're not involved in a race on this upcoming event we have planned called Cyber Saturday, you'll be able to vote for these different variables such as which tracks people are racing on, which cars they may be in, whether it's F1, F2s or even classics, but lots of different things for people to be able to put their ideas on it and sort of to see what they want to see. To make it quite a spectacle, and I'll be contacting people now after the first week's over to try and schedule some different matches that we want to see. I'm sure everybody wants to see Kizzy versus Rally. It was the feature we was denied, and that's certainly worthy of a main event status. But anybody who wants to compete, we'll find space to compete and be part of something I think is going to be really special going forward.
No, I can't wait for that, to be honest, mate.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, so
I agree.
Just something different now, isn't it?
Yeah.
absolutely. There's not. I don't think any other leagues are doing this, and I know we were certainly treated to a fashion of it when with the first lockdown, when the race was doing these head-to-head tournaments at different tracks, and. So that's what kind of brought the head-to-head racing to a front, and possibly the idea and sort of around like the cup format that we did. But we're looking to kind of go the next level up. You know, we want to make people a star for the night. This sort of that gladiatorial sort of thing, and you see a lot of smack talk in the Discord where people are saying that they're quicker than the other one. Now's the time to prove it. Just call that person out. Let me know. I'll make the match. But we'll all see, and see who comes out on top.
Okay. No, that sounds absolutely awesome.
Yeah, I agree, and thank you for all the work you did as part of the Murray Walker Cup. Regardless if another league is doing this, they're not going to do it at the same level as you, so we've got nothing to worry about.
Thank you.
Everything's going to be on point. And yeah, thank you very much, and stay tuned in for the rest of the podcast.
So we'll keep up the good work, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Come on, bye.
So again, what an amazing potential that could be throughout season 3. With Pete's mind, with the graphics in us, it's going to be incredible in my opinion.
Definitely, and some of the ideas that he shared with me already, it's absolutely going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward to quite a few of the events already. So yeah, no, it's going to be stunning.
Great. So away from the exhibition, let's start talking about some of the leagues. So what we're going to do now is invite Parker, who's the WNRC league manager, just to talk a little bit about season 2 in WNRC. It's had a lot of change. It's been great that it's been started. It's something different to the Thursday and the Sunday league.
Yes.
So, and this is what we're trying to achieve here in the UELA. If we just had the same format every single day, it can become a little bit boring. So the fact that we have 3 different formats, for me, makes it one of the best group of races that we have. So Parker has joined us. How are you doing, Tom? You okay?
Evening, lads. You all right?
Parker, just remember to include your audio for us at the top, please, man.
I've done it. Hopefully everybody can hear me.
Okay.
So as
There we
I
go.
introduced, mate, you've done an absolute cracking job for WNRC, and I know there's been a lot of change from the little season 1 that you had into season 2. So do you want to just give us a little bit of a flavour for those who don't know what WNRC is all about?
Yeah, basically it started last year because of work commitments. I couldn't do TNRC, so I thought I wanted to do my own league, but then you kindly invited me to create the WNRC one, so we got 20 drivers straight away. Some of them dropped out, some of them stayed, but the principle was having team captains to pick their drivers, and it was okay, but then people started dropping out, and then me and Dave, my assistant manager, I've got to give credit to him as well, we sat down and we got all 20 drivers into the right car, and from, I would say, Mexico onwards, they were pretty awesome racing, including Monza were a highlight where there were about 15 of us covered by 0.3 of a second in qualifying, which were mental. And then we were thinking about season 2 and what to do, and I wanted to do team managers, and then EXO, I'll give all credit to EXO for this. EXO messaged me saying about, well, if you're going to do team managers, why don't you do prizes? So, seeing at work that I haven't got much to do because I'm on a boring job, I was taking notes, and then it came up with this. Well, I think it's an ingenious concept. It's probably the best thing I've ever come up with. So, it's not saying much, but I think it's pretty good. So the thing is that admins as well, your managers, and Bradley Casey is a driver manager, and you've got to pick drivers based on the prices that we just came up with out of imaginary. It's just all imaginary. So everybody's got a budget. I know some of them have already blown all the budget. I'm not mentioning any names, just Smith.
Me, I've blown my budget.
There's some tight-fisted ones like Grimmy who's still got 40 grand, and yeah, so it's going to be an exciting season. The thing is that we're pretty close, and the fact that we don't even know what tracks we've got till now is going to make it even more special. So we're quite looking forward to it. Obviously, with the prize as well, it's based on our point system, kind of. And we're also doing, like, if you're a clean driver, you're going to do very well in WNRC to get more money. But if you crash a lot, like I have been doing recently, I will cost a lot of money.
No, mate, you've
Well,
done
you're not in a
an
Renault.
Sounds
cracking
absolutely
job.
awesome.
It does, yeah. You and your team have done really well, and we thank you for coming to us as the admins and asking the question. Obviously, I'd like to think we've just given you free reign within our rulebook to make something special which you have. So, looking forward to next season. I wasted all my money because I've got a great team. I'll get it all back.
I think you might be right on that one.
Risk and reward
In
and all
Solomon.
that, you know.
Wait until Dave DNF's the first race, right? Then we'll go sing the same tune.
And obviously Ramsey's
I'll be
got his
switching him.
sponsorship money as well to get his driver. Yeah, but it's going to be a pretty exciting season, I think. We've been talking private in voice chat all Wednesday night drivers, and we still don't know who's going to win because everybody's pretty evenly matched, so we're just looking forward to it and getting the season underway.
Sounds good, man.
Perfect.
We're very excited to see how the season plays out.
Agreed. So,
So-
thanks for that, Tom.
No worries.
Please stay tuned in for the rest of the podcast. I'm sure you will, around the track reveal and the other reveals that we are doing. But thanks for all the hard work you and your team are doing in WNRC, mate. Without you lads, it wouldn't be a success. So great job.
Thank you guys, and always thank you for the support. I would have never imagined when I asked about setting a league up that it will turn into this, so thank you very much.
It's cool,
You're
man.
most welcome.
No worries, bud.
Have a good show, lads. I'll catch you in a bit.
Thanks, bud.
See you later.
Stood up. So, obviously, we've learned a little bit there about WNRC. A lot of our community knows about TNRC, but we have done some changes. Who would like to speak about the changes ready for next season?
Yeah, look, it's a complicated idea. Obviously, if you ask a lot of people that know me, I'm very complicated, so I make things more difficult than it should be. So yeah, it is very complicated. Guys are going to lose points, or are going to basically lose money fictitious money. If they DNF, if they're getting penalties, if they're getting penalties through the stewards, and they're going to make money by finishing races, getting good positions at the end of the races and stuff like that. So there is a bit of a risk reward to it, and the managers has more a role to play than just signing the driver, because they have to start managing it. They're gonna have to help the guys with their strategies. They're gonna have to help them with their race setups to do everything that they can do to get their driver to finish the race. Because the end of the season comes and you don't have cash, you're gonna struggle to go on to season 3 and get a proper car.
Yeah, we all get relegated. So maybe onto a more simpler league then, although it is a more of a competitive in terms of endurance. TNRC. Do you want to talk about the changes on TNRC, please?
Okay.
You want to take that one?
I'll take it as well. Look, I think the model worked. I personally think the model worked really, really well. Putting the faster guys in slower cars and the slower guys in faster cars. I think it made for a very competitive season, a very competitive races, every single race. Qualifying at the beginning of it, qualifying, if you had the top 13 guys all qualifying within a second of each other. Then as the season went on, the drivers started getting better. Obviously that gap started growing a little bit, and we had to, throughout the season, move a few guys around in the cars to make sure that it stays competitive. So yeah, I was asked very nicely by my friend Bird to just blow his horn a little bit and say how awesome he is. But I mean, if he finished the season in second place in the Alpha. So, and I mean, it was good racing. It was consistent finishing positions, making sure that he's there at the end of the race to pounce on any mistakes that was there. So yeah, I think a shout out needs to go to Rikas for winning it. Again, it is
For sure.
yeah, I mean, he didn't DNF a single race. The amount of clean race points that he got is insane. I think, my personal view on it, I think it got to a stage where he wasn't racing because he was far enough ahead. He could just bank on getting the three clean race points in wherever he finishes to make sure that he stays in first place. But I mean, at the end of the day, he put himself in that position to be able to do that by the points that he scored early in the season. So yeah, I'm excited for season 2. We got some new drivers in. The new tracks are going to be stunning, and I think with us expanding it to full quali, it's just gonna play a little bit more on the strategy side of it and the endurance side of it, because now the whole session is going to be 2.5 hours long. That adds an extra half an hour, and it will definitely make an effect.
Not to mention the practice before.
Exactly, yeah. There's a practice before that as well. So the endurance side of it is going to start taking a toll. I mean, I've lost my concentration, and like I said on stream the other day, I snatched the DNF out of the jaws of victory at Hungary. So, yeah, things like that happen.
You're absolutely right, and you mentioned about Bird, and I was looking through his teammate, and I didn't realise we had Bernd Maylander as his teammate all season, the Formula 1 safety car driver. I had a chat with Ecto earlier, and I was just, we were talking about the safety car situation. I don't know why, but we were talking about it. Ultimately, the reason why it affected me more than potentially other people is by the time we got the safety car at 75% of the race, I'd already got 9.5 seconds of penalties, and I couldn't reclaim that gap again in that short period of time. So it was definitely more down to myself than anything that anybody else did. But racing's passionate, isn't it? We're all passionate about doing well, and sometimes right after the race you can definitely throw a dummy out. But yeah, well done to Rikas, my teammate from SNRC. coming over to TNRC and winning,
Oi, oi, oi.
dominating.
Don't steal my thunder. He is my real teammate in TNRC. Okay.
He
we
obviously learned
did
more from you because he didn't win SNRC.
we did take the TNRC constructors by I think 150 points. So yeah. So yeah. Okay.
No, absolutely perfect. So, is this an interesting one now? Because I think a lot of people, you know, like when you had job interviews and people say, "What's the worst thing about you?" or "What's your weak area?" or something like that. It's sometimes hard to say, but as admins, we like to be open and honest. And the next bit is about our biggest learns as an admin, and what that could be. It could be a good learn. It could be something that we did and we thought was wrong. So I'll start with one, if you guys don't mind.
No, please do.
So for me, in Division 1, as a lot of people know, we had a very light grid. We had a few drivers drop out after the first couple of weeks due to personal reasons. And then it just felt like for the whole season we were chasing our tail to get the numbers back up. And what we were doing is we were seeing drivers race. And they were good and they were fast. But we never really saw any commitment from them other than the trial race. But we kept throwing them into Division 1. And then after a couple of weeks they'd leave again, or they wouldn't turn up, or they'd be DNFing. And it just made for a really, really scrappy Division 1. So a big learn for me is drivers who are untested will need to prove their commitment. And as people will see on the announcement, we talk about attendance, and we'll go into that in a bit. But yeah, we want people here. It's all about turning up first, then racing clean, and then looking to win. And that's my big learn, is not just throwing people in after one trial race into the league, really. How about yourselves, guys?
I think that's definitely it for me as well. I think we made a few mistakes. Yes, maybe being too soft. But I think we've sorted that out throughout the season. It's pretty simple. If guys don't want to stick to our rules that we have, and we have every single one of our rules we've discussed over and over and over, and to understand why it's there and what's the effect of it. So if people can't stick to our rules, then it's pretty simple. I'll show them the door myself.
On a good note, let's be honest, Division 2 was quite a solid division the whole way through. I think the least amount of people we had was 15 on one or two occasions, but otherwise it was always 18, 19 sort of area. So I think that was quite a positive, and I think that was because of the people we had in. Some even new from Division 3, like Parker, but Parker attends every single week.
Yes.
As did Reed and myself and Exo. I think we've not missed a race ever since we started up with Exo.
I think Kieran had one. Sternface, Dave, all those guys.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, would you say we've done anything well? Because can I just give kudos to the Steward team, the way you present the clips, the way you discuss the clips, and the speed of turnaround has been incredible. And then that leads into also giving kudos to Heisenberg, aka Jeremy. Sorry, mate. But the great work he does on the statistics to get them out accurately within a day of the Stewards report is incredible. So for me, Stewards team have been working amazingly well. So thank you guys, and yeah, Jeremy, great work on picking up the fallout of that and getting the stats out very quickly.
No, definitely. I can jump on the back there from Smitty. I think my Steward team is absolutely awesome. I have been in other Stewards, and our turnaround is insane to other teams. And I think it's not that we're rambling through the stuff, but we really go through stuff in detail. We go through the incidences, and I don't think we get a lot wrong, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And Grimmy, Rabs, you anything else to add around big learns with admin group?
I think transparency is a good one for us, in the sense that even myself, I've had things that stewards have said that has gone against me, and I've not particularly liked it. So it's not like we favour anybody. And if we've had a decision in the past, I think that when we actually realise we've made the wrong decision, I don't think we're you know, we won't actually hold our hands up and go, look, hey, sorry lads, we made a bit of a boo-boo there. Okay, we'll rectify that. So I think, you know, we're human, but we also will accept when we're wrong, and I think that's a positive because it means that we've got the actual league at heart rather than just our own prerogatives, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh, 100%. And I think we've got to applaud ourselves really, because since like I've been coming out, and it's like, holy shit, it's another full-time job. And you
The
think,
time, yeah.
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 The amount of work is insane.
Yeah, and you don't actually realise until you do it. It's like, holy shit. So I think well done to everyone, really.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, man. Appreciate that. And yeah, a big
Same to you.
thanks to us. And I was saying, we all have our different strengths within the admin team, but we all seem to come together and we're 100% together on most of, well, if not all the decisions when we decide them. So, cheers, guys. Okay, so following on from our learns, then we'll go on to some slight changes that we're introducing for next season around the rules. Exo, as head steward, can you go into that for us, please?
Yeah. Okay. So we have four main rule changes that's coming in. The first one is the 5 seconds that you get. Let's say we're under VSC or safety car, and someone hits you from behind. You get a 5-second penalty, and now unfortunately because of that, 3 laps later the race finishes. You didn't have a chance to get in the pits. Now you lose your 3 clean race points. Now this is the part that I want to make absolutely clear. You will still get your clean race points, but you will also still keep the 5 seconds. It will still affect your race. We will still never look at in-game penalties. We'll never remove in-game penalties.
Has to be proven though, doesn't it?
Yes, no, obviously they're going to have to send a clip to us and say, okay, well, this guy drove into me. It is not my fault. And then the stewards will look at it and say, okay, yes, it wasn't your fault that you got that 5 seconds. And all it will do is you'll still get your three clean race points. But that will be barring if that is your only penalty that you got that race. So this excludes, if you're going to speed into the pit lane, that you're going to lose your clean race points then. If you're going to make a big corner cut and get a 5 second or 10 second, you're still going to lose your clean race. This is literally just under VSC and safety car. If someone hits you from behind, it's not your fault. It won't affect your clean race points anymore. So I hope everyone understands, and if anyone does not, please PM me so that I can explain it to you guys in more detail. The second change we're making is currently with the penalty points. With every incident that we have carries a time portion and a penalty point portion. Now, the penalty points, once you reach 12 penalty points, you get a quali ban. If you reach another 12, so you get 24 penalty points, you get a race ban. Now those limits are changing. The limit for a quali ban is going to be 9 penalty points. And the limit for a race ban is going to be 15 penalty points. So we're shortening that up. And it's, look, like I said, our racing isn't bad at all. I mean, the amount of incidents we have per race is very low. But I think this is just going to nullify that even more. Then the next rule change that's coming in is that if you rage quit and it affects a safety car, meaning that means retiring on track or driving into a wall and the DNFing on purpose, and it brings out a safety car which has a fundamental effect on the race, you will be kicked out of the league. Currently the penalty for that is a quali ban, and we are upping that completely. You will be removed from the league if you do that. So, and I'm going to do the writing, and I'm going to put it in general chat, and I'm going to put it nicely so everybody understands exactly what's changing. The fourth thing that is changing is regarding the points. So currently how it works is, if you are, let's say me and me and Smithy. Smithy has lapped me 3 times. Now
Gonna happen.
he DNFs. It is gonna happen, I know. He DNFs on the last lap, but when I cross the line, I'm gonna be 3 laps behind him. Now, currently, our points rules say that Smithy will not score any points, but I will because I finished the race. But that is technically not right, because Smithy has physically driven more miles than I have. So he has gone further than I have. Now that rule is also changing. So we're going to look more towards what the game says the finishing positions are, because the game does take that into effect. So yeah, that's the 4th rule that is changing. That's me from rule changes. Like I said, I'm going to write this all up, and if anyone does not understand, please contact me, because I don't want you guys to lose something or be kicked out of the league because you didn't know.
Yeah. I agree. So I think for me on that one is, I don't want it being spoke about in Gen Chat. It's in our rules. If you've got an issue or if you've got any concerns or you don't quite understand, leave it out of Gen Chat. Go straight to PM to EXO, and you can have a chat via that method there. We don't want this to be in and around Gen Chat, because there's no need for it. Okay, so talking about changes and rule changes, this kind of goes back to the big learn of the admins, which is the attendance rule change. So I've been quite loud and passionate about this in the admin chat, about having drivers in the server who are here to race rather than just be here in the server. We asked everybody a question before the end of the season, or just after the end of the season. If you want a full-time seat, what that means is you are going to race in at least 13 of the 15 calendar season. That is good. That is there. If you missed 3 races throughout the season, you will be demoted to a reserve at that point. Now, in terms of the reserves, we expect, again, reserves to be exactly that, wanting to race, and therefore we expect reserves to race at least 5 times in a season to secure their seat. If they do not race at least 5 times, you will be removed from the server. We want people here who are racing and not just hanging around in the server. And this is because of a majority of people last year, a lot of the reserves last year actually didn't even complete 2 races. We can't have that this year, or 1. We expect more this year, and it will be those rules. So if you get to race 12 and you haven't even done 1 yet, then unfortunately we're not going to wait to the end of the season. You can't meet that 5 and you will be removed from the server, and the admins will keep that up to date as well. Now, people might say, well, if there's no seats, if we've got full grids, how does that work? We will get onto that later after we go through the reveals.
Great.
Okay. So, Rabs?
Yo.
Would you like to go through the next point? So, we, as an admin team, we have Div 1, Div 2, Div 3, TNRC, Div 1. And we just thought, you know what, we want to mix it up a bit and maybe have a play about with the names. So, Raz, would you like to introduce to the community the new league names?
Where have we put that?
Where they always are.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah, no, there you go, top of the head, okay. So, the new name for Division 3 is the Emergence League. The new name for Division 2 is the Champions League. And the new name for Division 1 is the Premier League.
Done it wrong.
No, got it wrong.
Ramsey, you had one job, dude. You had one job, man.
Yeah, I said to you, I need to look at anything on my iPad. You all said no, not my fault.
Okay,
You can't just lay
read
that
it
in my door like that.
Okay, so the new Div 3 will be called the Emerging League.
Yeah,
Div
that's
2
right.
will be the Premier League.
Oh, I've gone wrong
And
around.
Div 1 will be the Champions League. And then TNRC will be the Division 1 will be called the Prodigious League.
Whoever gets the meaning of that first on the podcast Podcast channel gets a nice pat on the back. So Prodigious League, no Google, see what it is. Going through the names, the reason why we put Champions League for the old Division 1 is if you look at the drivers in there, a lot of the drivers have won races. The Premier League is a mix of those who have been on the podium loads, and then the Emerging League are those who have recently either joined the server, come back to join the server, or people who may have missed a few races last season, and it's about the emerging talent from that one to try and get themselves into the Premier League and the Champions League moving forward. So, so Prodigious League, has anybody said anything yet? They're still Googling?
Not yet.
Panda. It means panda is rapid. Okay, so now on. Don't get me wrong. The rest of this has been cool, but I think the next few slides and bits are going to be what the people have been here for. So we are here. Are you ready, guys? The track reveal for UELA next season.
Okay, guys, so one of the requests we had throughout the season was to try and get that we on the Sunday that we race our race, it's also the live race of that day. So all the tracks that had little stars next to it, that is the weekend that the real race takes place as well. So yeah, I think it's definitely something we listened. It's going to be exciting. I know it makes myself excited when I know, okay, well, these guys are going to race this track. I'm going to do it myself. It just builds the hype a little bit. I'm going to start with myself. The three tracks that I like. I'm really looking forward to Brazil, Russia, and Belgium. Brazil, obviously, we haven't done Brazil in a while, so looking forward to that. Russia is just a fun track for me. There, so you can really throw the car around there, and Belgium is just always fun. There's a lot of people that crash out, so it's a track for me just to try and score points. So yeah, who's next?
I'll go
I'd
next.
say.
Oh,
alright.
okay, go on. Sorry, go on, mate.
No,
Go on, mate.
I'm
No,
going
no,
to
go
say, obviously, China. So I didn't actually like this China before this game come out, and then I don't know, I just seem to love it now. But Belgium, that is definitely up there. And oh shit, what was the other track? I was thinking of it earlier. I can't remember now.
Austria.
No, hell no.
Austria-
okay, but you've got
Austria
two
is
favourites.
Oh,
right?
Singapore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really, Singapore? Okay.
Oh yes.
You also don't like puppies and stuff like that, right? Okay. So, Rabsy, what's your
And
track,
to you,
mate?
Rabs?
Mine's Spain, Italy, and China.
Okay.
Just because
That's
they're
gonna
the
be
ones
fun.
that I'm doing the best pace for me. That's as simple as it is.
I must say, I struggle with Spain. I love the track, but I have no pace at it, at all.
Mate, Sector
really
3 I just
struggle
don't
there.
get.
Yeah.
Really don't get it.
Okay, Smithy, up to you, man.
Yeah, so Russia's one of my favourite tracks. It's just a flowing track for me. Really like it. And then Singapore and Baku.
Oh god.
So, Singapore was my first ever win in the UELA banner. Really,
Oi,
so, yeah, and it was done in a house.
Big up the
Made it
house.
even better. I know, yeah. So right. So yeah, I do love that. So looking forward to that race. But yeah, Russia. To be fair, all the tracks on there, there's not one that really stands out that I hate until I get to the 25th of January, and it's China. I can't seem to find pace. You know, you have that one track where no matter how much you play on it, you are where you are. So
Yeah.
it's kind of damage limitations for me, that one.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
why I fucking love it.
Because I hate it.
Yeah.
It makes sense, mate. But yeah, all getting positive comments I can see coming in through Discord about the track. So
Yeah.
I hope you're excited about that. Fantastic. So what we're now going to do is move on to the driver and team reveal for
Oh.
WNRC. So exciting. We heard from Parker earlier today around the WNRC, the way it's got team managers and drivers and budgets. It's going to be an incredible journey that league goes on, in my opinion. And what's great is not only myself, but all of my fellow admins are team managers. In Rob's case, he is a manager / driver as well. So. Yeah. So I'll talk about my team very quickly. I was super excited to get the team that I have. I've got Mini Smokes, who has been progressing race on race, and in a Mercedes, I truly believe he's got some real strong finishes in him, and it's just my job to get it out. And Dave, there's not much more I need to do really. Just little tweaks here and there, maybe setups, and making sure he pits under a goddamn safety car. My God. Other than that, Dave, you're a great racer. Just listen to me. Pit when I tell you to.
And he needs to get turn 1 right at Silverstone.
Yeah,
And
turn
we're
1
gonna
at
do that tonight.
Silverstone.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to do that tonight after, that's for sure. But Grimmy, on to you. How about your team?
Well, obviously with the Renault. I, especially last season, Shaggy Doo was already in Renault, so I was looking at him. And didn't he come 2nd or 3rd in the constructors? Like last season.
Who was that, Shaggy, you say?
Shaggy, yeah.
Yeah, I
he
think so.
come second in Division 3.
That's what I mean. And that is on full traction. Now, he literally beat me by 1,000th of a second in Bahrain in that exposition match. And now it's full traction, so I'm glad he's going to medium traction. He's going to be rapid. And I've had a little change around as well. I've got Stoff. Stoff, is it? Is that how you say it? Stoff as my
I think so, yeah.
His real name's Chris, isn't it? Yeah, which is Jack's mate. He seems a good option for you actually in that Renault.
So he did look quite strong in the practice, so I'm happy about that. But I mean, I think we've got to give it 3 races just to see where we are in terms of pace and strategies wise. But nah, it should be good.
Rabs, how about your team?
Well, I got quite
different
lucky.
dynamic in your one.
Yeah, well, I think
Unlucky for
I've
Campbell.
benefited. No. So, wait there. Hold your horses, you muppet. So, I got quite lucky because this was all done when I had no assists on. So obviously my pace, and I was rated one of the lowest, which I understood at the time because that was the case. However, I've put them all back on since. And even though I was the one that was really digging my heels, like, come on, Parker, come on, choose now. People could be chatting away. Now, I bet you that's what Smithy did with Dave. I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. So yeah, I was like, let's do it now. Blah blah. And then coincidentally, looking after the twin girls that I have, it all came out and we were able to pick, and I wasn't able to because I didn't realise. So that shot me in the foot a little bit. And then it turns out that by the time I'd actually gone to pick, there was no one within my budget. So I think with Parker's very generous offer of some sort of sponsorship from, I think he said, African Airlines, I was able to have a decent, a very decent and fast guy in the game of Camboy. Well impressed with his pace. I know that he performs a lot better when he's up the front, so it's just, I think, my aim to just hold everybody up to get him up there. In regards to spotters, just to confirm, I've spoke to Parker because we don't want to have a disadvantage. Because like Smithy will be able to tell his drivers pit now, etc. Someone's on better tyres. We're going to have Jack, SNRC Jack, as our spotter on race days for Wednesday.
Interesting.
So spent more money, and you spent more money on an engineer. I'm expecting people laugh at me about getting more off, but
Yeah, and now
he
he gets his own
people come to
spotter.
me. I'm in a Mercedes, Div 1 champion. I don't need to tout myself. They come to me. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Alexa, how about you and your team?
Yeah, I've got the racing points, and I've got Milk and Hegster. I think it's still two quite good drivers. I think they're very underrated. Milka is definitely, he's improving week on week, and I think it's a driver that I can help with, maybe sort out some of their setups, helping with their strategies and stuff like that. So I think we're getting underrated at the moment, but it's fine. We don't mind being underdogs. We'll pull it out when the time comes and when it's needed.
Don't talk about putting stuff out, mate. Just talk about racing on the grid, alright? PG crowd and all that. Okay, so very exciting times in WNRC. I know you've been a manager before, so this is new to a lot of us.
Yes.
So, great news about that. So, we're going to be moving on to TNRC. Now, this is again another realistic performance league. So, this is where a lot of people will be interested to see what cars they're going to get for season 2. So, on to TNRC.
When you are racing, there is no words to say what you feel.
When you get into a racing car, into a Formula 1 car, it's just an emotional roller coaster. You're feeling all the vibrations from all 8 cylinders, and you just wow.
I think I'm just a racer. That's what I am.
Racing, it's life.
Okay, guys. So I obviously I hope you guys are excited for it, and it was exciting to see what cars you guys are in. I'm sure quite a few people are going to not be too happy with the cars they're in, but I mean, the way we picked it was we saw the development people had in season 1 in their cars, and we're expecting the same development to have through season 2. So I think at the end of the season we're going to be very close. What we also do have is in admins the first 3 races, we have the authority. We can move guys around to make sure if we did get something wrong, just to make sure that to make the competition hard. And then another thing, as last season, if something stands out after those 3 races, we will still make changes if need be. So there's no use for someone to be sandbagging the first 3 races thinking that, okay, well, now they're going to be in a fast car for the rest of the season. We can still make changes after that. So make sure you guys pick up the points when you can.
Yeah, and we have made changes last season midway through as well. As you may have seen, we have 19 drivers on the grid for TNRC, but we have a very strong lineup of reserves. So
yes.
At the moment, there's a seat available for a reserve. Whoever comes first gets it. I believe it's in the Alfa Romeo, isn't it, Exo?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So perfect. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that season. I think the grid's going to be very, very close. I think it may be closer. Well, I mean, let me take a step back. Race 1 of season 1, it was all really close. And then, as you said earlier or alluded to, the development of some drivers was just incredible. And we kind of anticipate that again. But I do believe right at the start of this season, we're going to get quali from first down to 20th within that 1.5 second bracket. Is what
I think
hoping
so
for.
too. Yeah, it's going to be a battle to get through on the mediums in quali too. It's. I think it's going to be really hard.
Okay, so I've been excited about all the reveals, but this is a big one because it's multi-divisional. So we have 3 divisions, which we spoke about earlier, which was the Emerging League, which is the old Division 3, then Division 2, which is now the Premier League, and Division 1, which is now the Champions League. So I hope you enjoy, and we're now on to the SNRC driver reveal.
So, obviously, as you see about the Emergent League, we have done this purely because obviously we want everyone to race. So there's only 15 players in that league, but like we said earlier about the attendance, we just want 5. Is it 5 races, Luffy?
Yeah, thanks
one
for
race
passing
out
it back
5?
over. So,
Sorry.
so basically, one of the attendance rules that we mentioned earlier was how important it was. We want people who race in this community. So the Emerging League has 15 full-time drivers, which means 5 seats are free every single week, which enables the reserves to meet our attendance rule, which is the 5 races minimum attended this season. And that's why that league has a smaller grid, but we have enough reserves who can fill in and make that a full 20-car grid. There's some things that we're going to do with that league as well, so if I can pass over to you, Exo.
Yeah, so what's going to happen is the whole idea is we want to create a situation where people earn their spots rather than just giving them spots. So all the reserves will always race there. If the 2 divisions above require reserves, we're going to pull them from the Emerging League. So let's say the guy who's first in the Emerging League, he is going to be, if there's a reserve needed in Div 1, he will go and race there. So he's basically earning his position to go race in Division 1. The points that he scores in Division 1 will be added to his total points log in the Emerging League. Another thing, all reserves will also from now on score points. So we might get to a point where the Emerging League's points log as 25 or 27 or whatever amount of people on that log. So yeah, I think it's a way to really get to point what we want to do is people are here to race and then community. So yeah.
No, I completely agree. And Reed raised the question in the podcast channel about reserves maybe having an individual league. That wouldn't work on a standalone basis, which is why before about this Emerging League to be able to allow you drivers who do race to see the reward of your race as well. There's nothing worse than turning up and going, well, okay, you haven't even cared about where my result was. Well, we care,
exactly,
and we're going to show that now.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so hopefully everyone's excited about all the reveals that we've done so far. We've still got some more coming up, but I'm going to move swiftly over to Exo once more and to talk more about our social media. I think, as you can see how professional this has been, we want to really ramp up our social media, and Exo has some great ideas. So over to you, mate.
Yeah. Okay, so like Smithy said, social media is a thing that we haven't really done well. Well, you didn't say it, I'm saying it. We haven't done that really well in the past 2 seasons. So that's another focus that we have for the coming season. So we want to have a set amount of, let's say, data and information that goes onto all the social media platforms every week. So the first of all is the top 10. So there's going to a nice top 10 image of all the divisions, and that's going to go on every single one of the social media platforms. Then the TNRC video that I produce every week from the highlights that our awesome commentators make for us, I create that, and that's also going every week. Then 6'10" has approached us. He wants to make videos for us as well. And what we got to was that we want you guys to start using the Show Off Your Skills channel a little bit more. Post your overtakes in there, and then every week we're going to select the 10 best overtakes. He's going to create a nice video for us of that, and that is also going onto the social media platforms throughout everywhere. And I think by that it's not just to show off the quality that we have. It's to brag about you guys, because in the end of the day, the league is here for you guys. And it's nice to see you making a pass, and it's on social media, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter, it's plastered everywhere. I think it's really exciting what we're heading towards.
Thank you, Exo. So, a lot to go through there, but hopefully it's everyone's learned something. You know who your teammates are going to be. You heard about the rule changes, the attendance rule changes, and a lot of other different exciting things that are going to happen throughout the season. So what we're now going to do, we're going to go into the podcast channel. We saw that there were some questions at the very beginning when we announced the podcast was live. If you have any questions, please do put those in there. But I'm just going to go through a couple quickly now. So Wolverine mentioned how many divisions have a regular commentator. So at the moment we only have one commentary team, and they're going to be doing Division 1. It has to work from top down. What we are always doing as a team of admins is we are always looking to recruit commentators. So if anybody knows anyone, please ask them to get in touch with us so we can speak with them. And then, yes, we'll filter it down to the emerging league thereafter. At the moment, only one division. Will we be switching to F1 2021 for the start of Season 4?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Very simply, we will be. There's a 3-week or 4-week lag between the game. Is it the 16th of July and our last race is the 3rd of August? Something like that. So 3-week lag between seasons, but that's a great opportunity for guys to obviously practice on F1 21 before we get going properly. We've covered Bird question. We talked about the average qualifying. What I will do at the end of this is I've actually got the stats, and I'll post those in the podcast channel once we finish tonight. And you've already mentioned about the instance, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
So,
yeah.
I
haven't actually mentioned the Bird has asked who has made the most, submitted the most incidents, and who was it submitted against the most. So the person that has submitted the most incidents was Ajax, and he has submitted a total of 12 incidents throughout the season. And the person who had the most incidences submitted against them was Leo, and he had 11 incidences submitted against him. So yeah, very very interesting stats. I actually guessed the one right. I'm not going to say which one.
You don't have to. Okay, so how are you guys going to handle people going on vacation and missing a couple of races? So we've actually discussed this in length, because right now there's no abroad holidays from people inside the UK really, but going into Season 4 we are going to have to consider what that looks like, because I, for one, I'm going to want to be going away with my family, and like many other people will. So no definitive answer right now, but one that we understand needs to be looked at moving forward.
Right.
The next one is Colm. Okay, so this is about what the admins not think of making a channel in the Discord for the Div Champions. Well, we actually have the Wall of Champions.
I think that I think it looks awesome. Pete made that for us, and I think it absolutely looks stunning.
I agree. What we've also got, and again one that we'll share in the podcast channel at the end, is to the best of our knowledge, is all the race winners throughout all leagues and throughout the whole 2 seasons that we've been here. So we will share that in the podcast channel as well once we finish. That gives you guys something to look at.
Definitely.
And that answers the Dave one about a race wins table.
Yeah.
Teammate versus teammate rivalry. So you always have to beat your teammate first and then go from there. Great news. Jeremy, who's our stats man, is going to be creating that for us. So he's working on it at the moment. It will show race wins versus your teammate, and quali against your teammate as well. So we're very appreciative of Jeremy for doing that for us. We haven't got a template of what that looks like, but as soon as we do, we'll share that with you guys as well. Okay, so Rabs, I'm going to come on to you.
Yo.
Because you're going to be in Division 2, I'll just ask you about that league. What's your prediction for the top 5 in Division 2?
Top 5 Division 2. Well, I know I won't be in it.
Mate, after your performance the other night, though, now you got your assist off or your assist back on, whichever way you want to look at it. I think you're doing yourself a disservice a bit there, mate.
Yeah. I think Campbell's pretty quick. I know Jack did really well. Always going straight into Div 1, isn't he?
Yes.
He is, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously he's not going to be in it. It'd help if I actually had a list of the drivers, mate.
They're in the admin chat, but while you're doing that, I'm going to quickly go back onto Emerging
man.
League while you're looking for that. So, one thing I forgot to mention about that is because of the likelihood of the drivers dropping in and out of that league, there's going to be no constructors title.
Yes.
We don't see the
Yeah.
we don't see the reason for it. There's 15 drivers in there, so not everybody would have a guaranteed 2 drivers. So that Division 3, i.e. the Emerging League, will be Drivers' Championship only. The Premier League and the Champions League and the Prestigious League from TNRC will all have constructors as well.
Yeah. If you ask me about the Premier League, I honestly think my top 5 will be Dave, Sternface, not in this order. It will be just the guy. So I've got Dave, Sternface, Camboy, Dom, and Jack. Actually,
I think Wolverine might
your
surprise us.
Wolverine will also be in there. That's going to be an interesting
yeah.
one, actually. Hexter's not bad at all. So
Matt
yeah,
Dixon
I
had
think
some
it's
pace towards the end
Matt
of season
Dixon has
3,
pace.
season
Yeah.
2 as well. So it could be another role reverse, not role reverse, another exactly the same as Division 2 this year in terms
Exactly,
of
it's going to be
top
very
8,
tight.
9 potentially going for it. So
Yeah,
excited to see
definitely, definitely.
that one. Okay, so Exo, with you coming into Division 1,
Yeah,
what do
Crying.
you think that's going to look like? Crying.
Kicking and
we
screaming.
dragged him in.
Kicking and screaming.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh man, if I came in here with absolutely no knowledge, I would have definitely picked Smithy to win it again. But Hoonigan is fast, man. Hoonigan is really fast.
Oh, mate, I forgot about him.
So I think Hoonigan's going to win it. Other than that, I think my top 4 further than that's going to would be Smithy, AMG, Grimmy, and Rally. I think that's I think that's my top 5. But then from 6 to 15, it's going to be an absolute it's clusterfuck. That is the best way to explain it. I think it's going to be packed. If you look at the names that are on there and the pace that's there, a guy that I really hope will get in the top 5 is Panda. He definitely has the pace to do it, but I think
100%.
his race strategy, his race awareness, that it needs some work. So I think if he works on that, he has a very good chance of getting into the top 5.
Yeah, and the dark horse for me is that Cody. I know every time he's raced
Yeah,
in Div 2, he's
he's
walked away
fast.
with it. So
fast.
it's going to be very interesting to see him listening to what the Division 2 lads were saying about some of his quali lap times. They would have pretty much got pole, if not second, in Division 1. So
Yeah.
it's going to be
No, he's
he's
fast.
definitely a dark horse for me.
I think Kieran will be a dark horse as well. Him learning manual gears, just that,
Yes.
he'll make a cut pace.
Yeah, it might cost him a little one or 2 weeks, but from then he's gonna fly. I definitely think his starts aren't gonna be as good as they are currently, because of it. He's gonna struggle with his starts a little bit more than he does now. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a cracker of a race, of a season. I'm gonna have to fight hard to get into the top 10.
I'm looking forward to it.
Otherwise, my teammate's gonna just tell me that he's carrying me again the whole season. So, yeah. So, yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay. So I think that's all the questions in the podcast for now.
Yes.
Has anybody else got anything to say?
No, I just apologise that I'm not talking as much.
Yeah, man.
And
That's not a problem.
When you done the emergent league, I was literally like ending the safety car, and I was at the front.
Okay. Now, for me, it's nothing. I just want to say thank you to Bird for helping out with this. You guys haven't heard him, but he's been talking to us in our other ear, managing this whole stream for us and putting up all the videos at the right times and everything. So I just want to say thank you very much to him.
Yeah, cheers, Bird.
Really grateful for his help.
Yeah, thank you, Bird. Thank you, Rabs. Actually, Rabs, have you got anything else you want to say?
Yeah, sorry for being a melt. I should have probably been a bit more on point.
You've had a lot going on, mate. We understand that.
But I was just putting an apology in the admin chat as we were talking, actually.
No, man.
Don't be silly.
I said it
just wanna
live
say
instead.
I just want to say thank you again to Bird. I want to say thank you to the admin team. A lot of work goes in behind the scenes that I know not a lot of people see. But yeah, thank you to everybody. Can by ask, will the driver reveals all be posted in Gen Chat or
Yes,
podcast?
yes.
Yes, we
It
can
will
do that.
it will be posted into the correct channel. So it will be in the driver and team channel. It will be in there. The track review will be in the calendar channel. So it will be all in there in the right places. So yeah.
Yeah, it's probably going to be tomorrow night
Yeah,
by the
not
time we
today.
unlock everything, because
Yeah.
we appreciate that not everybody would have had the opportunity to watch the stream as you guys have
Yes.
who are posting these questions. So after the league versus league race, myself and the admin team will get cracking with that. So by Monday morning, you'll all have your tags in the right channels.
And your
and
channels
then we
will
can
be
get
back.
practicing at Brazil.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Perfect.
Same.
Well, here's to a good
Thanks,
night.
guys.
We've got a race now at 9:30 for those who want to join. The more we get, we can do full quali, and then into a 50% race at Silverstone, ready for our our race tomorrow, league versus league. But thank you for
Yes,
joining
against
in.
URL. It's going to be
Cheers,
awesome.
boys.
So, thanks,
Cheers
guys.
for the views, lads.
Thanks.